If there's anyone out there holding out hope that the Trump administration is going to release any sort of new or even truthful information about the whole JFK assassination, I got news for you. You shouldn't hold your breath. But if you want some truth, hang on a sec. I got some for you. I'm going to give you some truth involving these gentlemen here that they really don't want you to know about. And the truth is that the powers that be, they create conspiracies. I'm not into conspiracies. Conspiracies are for the people that decide to look one layer lower than the mainstream agenda, and that's where you find their story. I don't want their story. I want the truth, and that's below their conspiracy. I'll explain. To try to explain this whole thing in a little bit better way where you can visualize it, I'm going to use the Soundgarden singer Chris Cornell, who supposedly the mainstream story is that he died by a suicide. So that's the mainstream story that they put out there. But then when you go digging just a little bit, what you will find is that Chris Cornell supposedly was just about to expose a pedophile ring. So they took him out. And that's what they want you to find. They create the conspiracy level so that when you go digging and you find something that seems so out of the ordinary and that they would cover it up, that you say to yourself, oh, I found the real truth. He was going to do a good thing and expose those pedos. Well, yeah, like I said, that's the story they create, so you don't get to the real truth of the fact that he's just still alive. And that you might even be watching him on the show The Chosen, because Chris Cornell is now 1000% Jonathan Rumi. And I did an entire video based on this. You can scroll down and look, but the evidence is there. They're the same. Chris and Jonathan. I mean, you can literally hardly tell there's two supposedly different faces there because it's the same face. But this is what they do. They create the story so you don't find the real story, kind of like with Tim Ballard and Paul Walker. Again, they said Paul Walker supposedly was taken out because he was about to expose a child trafficking thing. Well, no, he just became Tim Ballard, who makes movies about child trafficking. And did you ever hear the one about how Dave Grohl here, the drummer of Nirvana, took out Kurt Cobain so then he could be the lead and he could start Foo Fighters and he could get all the fame? Well, again, that's just the story of Kurt Cobain's death. That's the story they want you to find so you don't find the truth of Kurt Cobain just becoming Rivers Cuomo and being part of the band Weezer. And you know who else is also part of the band Weezer? Yeah, that's right. Dave Grohl is also in the band Weezer because that's Dave Grohl and that's Scott Shiner of the band Weezer. And well, getting back to the entire reason I started talking about this anyway, the JFK files, the mainstream story everyone knows. Lee Harvey Oswald took him out. But then they created a conspiracy of the CIA taking him out for whatever reason. And that's all so you don't find the truth of him just being alive. Well, not anymore because he became Jimmy Carter and now Jimmy Carter died. Maybe. I don't know if any of them really die. And if you just think I'm crazy and talking nonsense, well, I always provide evidence like these three dots and those three dots. And I even found some new ones up here like that dot and that dot on him right there. New discovery just today. And well, the king of rock and roll, there's all sorts of conspiracies about him, and none of them, again, are the truth, except for the truth I bring you. But you guys know I'm just joking about all this. I don't really believe any of these people really become any of these other people. I'm just a conspiracy guy, and I just do this for the entertainment and the views and the clicks and the likes and the money. I don't really care about exposing all the elites and their Luciferian agenda trying to get people to not even realize where they are or who they are. All for entertainment purposes. I'm a satire account. Yada, yada, yada.